Baby, good morning, Devils fans, and a great morning it is because we had a big victory in the divisional matchup versus the Pittsburgh Penguins last night in a 5-2 win out in Pittsburgh. The Red Hot Penguins having won 5 straight, basically all their guys almost double points over those last 5 games. Tristan Jarry playing phenomenally in net, and no Nico, no Jack, no Timo as a game time decision, and we still come out here and put up a big win. Now, I'm not going to get too overhyped because same way I talked about Winnipeg and Colorado, and even St. Louis a little bit, where we had very strong first and second periods, so-so between those games, and then kind of fell apart a bit there in the third. Kind of same thing happened to Pittsburgh, where they had a pretty strong game almost across the board. We just actually got some big saves in the third period by Vitek, got some actual finishing there in the third period as well from the big guys, while the depth players kind of carried the load through the first two, scoring-wise at least. And we come out with a big victory. That's the type of character win, big motivating win, big confidence win that the room really needed to hopefully get this thing right back on track. Hopefully some good news injury-wise coming in tomorrow. And it'll be another big divisional matchup against one of the best teams in the East, arguably one of the best teams in the league right now in the New York Rangers. But let's go ahead and talk a bit about the Pittsburgh game. So I'm going to not rant, but bring up one big negative, in my opinion, from this game that really bothered me in the moment. Obviously feel good here today and felt good by the end of that game. But the first goal against is really something I brought up in the preview for this one of don't take bad icings. Now, I'm not someone that says don't take any icings. Obviously, sometimes you just need to relieve the pressure, get it down the ice, take the icing, get a breather, and just deal with it after that. But instead, leading up to that first goal was kind of a string of unfortunate events. Started off by a mostly unforced error by the guy who had the most ice on the team last night and overall had a really strong game, even if a couple blunders, in Dawson Mercer. So we all know the missed pass to Holtz on the breakaway. Mercer was obviously very upset with himself after that one. It's whatever. That play just does not bother me that much. The one that does bother me is the icing that led up to that first goal. So if you don't quite remember it, the Mercer line was out there. It was Holtz, Palat, and then I think Siegenthaler and Dougie, possibly. Quite blanking on the second defenseman there, but it was definitely Siegs. I think Dougie actually ended up changing onto the ice, or was just about to change, but we'll get to that in a second. Anywho, Mercer gets almost to the red line and dumps the puck in, just barely missing, and icing the puck. Now, the reason I was harping on this in the preview is because when you are tied there on the ice, minute plus shift, and a team like Pittsburgh gets to put out a healthy, rested line, in this case it was Crosby's line, gets to put up their offensive dynamo defenseman that they want there on the ice, leads to some bad results. So what ended up happening there was take the icing, we lose the faceoff, they get a bit of a cycle going, and they almost had an empty net tap in by Gensel, who it was recorded as a missed shot, but I'm pretty sure Mercer ended up diving across and saving the goal, basically redeeming himself for the icing. Nice little side fun fact here if you're into the advanced analytics. Holtz actually ended up with a around 34, 35-ish% expected goal percentage in this one, which isn't great. But he was on the ice for that empty net attempt by Gensel that Mercer blocked. If you remove just that single attempt, Holtz is basically at 50% on the game as a whole, which from the eye test, he had an amazing game. I thought it was one of Holtz's best. This is also why you need full, sample size over a season when it comes to expected goal stuff. Also, full context within a single game and stuff like that. So, we'll get to the Holtz goal here in a minute. But continuing on that play. So Mercer basically redeems himself. Siegenthaler pushes the puck up ice and ends up going in real deep. He knows he had 4 other guys, including himself, that were on for long shifts and were very tired. They just almost gave up an absolute tap-in goal, if not for Mercer making that diving play. So he goes in deep and tries to delay Pittsburgh from getting back up the ice. Our guys go in for the change, and Dougie ends up in the middle ice because Siegenthaler is in super deep, so he's the lone defenseman back. All 3 forwards go for the change. Pittsburgh gets a quick transition up the ice. Guys flanking either side of Dougie. Ends up going over to Russ. Dougie cannot get over in time to block him off. Basically the clean breakaway and first goal of the game. It was kind of a, that's kind of how it goes. That's why icings are such a big deal when they are unforced like that, especially when you had the opportunity to actually get it in deep. Instead, they get the matchup they want. Even though we ended up getting the clear and a huge save, because of the shift change, leaving a single defenseman back, they get the odd man rush. They get basically the clean breakaway, and it's a goal. Now, thankfully, like I had also talked about, the power play by Penguins, when they get set up, is very deadly, but they have been giving up a lot of chances when you pressure them. Holla was a masterclass of PKing in this one, not just on the steal, pass over to Lazar, and shorthanded goal. That was a terrible goal by Jari. Jari should not have given that one up. But shout out Lazar, 3 goals in the past 6. That's a 40-goal pace over a full season. He's not going to keep that up. But fantastic stuff from him in a slightly elevated role with the guys out. Love his personality, love the locker room presence, and loving what he's bringing on the ice. Holla also was fantastic in basically every penalty kill from there on out. Felt like we had more chances on the penalty kill than they did on the power play. That's what we need from the team in a game like this. Now, they did end up coming back and scoring that second goal. Great play by Carlson. Russ stick on the ice. Maybe Marino had just the poor timing of lifting his stick, trying to get it to the other side of Russ for the stick lift. Basically, during that transition, pass was made, and Russ is able to redirect right into the net. Not very upset at that one. That's a very good play by both Carlson and Russ. Right places, high-skilled guys. You're not going to get shutouts every game. That's the type of goal that you can't be too upset giving up. And then shout out Nate, finally, the first goal for him on the season. Dougie with a great shot. Holla, Nate, I think it was Lazar, I'm pretty sure, all crashing the net there. Nate is the beneficiary of that rebound and tapping it in. And really, that was the huge momentum shift of the game. Kept us in it through the first and second, where, again, I think the Penguins played very well. Very arguably, they had the better first. I think we bounced back a bit in the second. And then the third period was fairly back and forth. Penguins definitely put some pucks on net. I think that was game score share. Basically, when you're up in a game, you play a bit more defensively. You give up a bit more shots. But we definitely had the better of the scoring chances and the expected goals in the third period as well. And that's really where we took over. Jesper Bratt did Jesper Bratt things. Beautiful waiting out Jari. Sniping it top over the shoulder. High left corner there. 3-2. The Holtz goal was first there. Mercer makes up for that missed pass to Holtz. Palat, beautiful play. I know people are giving him crap on the goal scoring, but he is loading up the assist. Every stat is showing that when Palat is on the ice, good things are happening. Every player plays better when they are lining up with Palat. That is Jack, that is Nico, that is Timo, that is Toffoli, that is Brett, everybody. When they are on the ice with Palat, their numbers improve. And it was that type of play that you love to see. Holds the puck along the boards. Great pass behind the net to Mercer. Beautiful. If you watch Holtz, he reads the play, looping back around. Jari completely. It's just boom, boom, boom. And Holtz, beautiful shot. Again, just to kind of, bring into full light analytics and not just focusing on a single number in a single game. That attempt by Holtz was a 7% expected goal value, where the Gensel missed Mercer block shot was just over 0.4 value. Holtz shot goes in, Gensel's shot does not. That's a goal for us, but an expected goal loss. Again, I'm into the analytics. I absolutely value them. But this is where, context comes in and you need to be watching the game or at least taking a full value view across all the different metrics to try and get an idea of how a guy's game did go on a nightly to night basis. Then, like I said, the Bratt goal was fantastic. The Toffoli snipe, I thought he actually was having a so-so game. But that fifth goal to really seal the deal was great to see. The boys shut it down against, again, the Penguins team that was probably the best team in the league coming into this one. I did say that they had actually been playing worse at home, and we need to take advantage of that. That trend seemed to continue in this one, where they were a dominant road team and pretty okay, good, okay to good, decent at home, and missing our 3 best forwards, or at least 3 of our 4 best forwards with Bratt still in it. We win, baby, 5-2. The score, I think, was not fully telling of how this game actually was. It was a lot closer than that until we really did take over in the third period. Similar to, again, the Jets and Avs games where they took over in the third. We had the puck go our way in this one. Jeez, my hair's a mess. Speaking of hair, facial hair, you see, kind of got rid of this. I hate my facial hair. It never grows in well. It's patchy, multicolored. The wife doesn't like it as well. But it is November, so I went with the Movember theme. Men's health awareness, if you're not aware of that. You'll see a lot of hockey players sporting the mustache as well. I also apparently have some kids' Christmas pictures happening today. So hopefully it's not full family pictures, as I hate my facial hair as a whole. I just usually do this in November. And hopefully this is not my look for the Christmas cards. But if it is, whatever. But back to hockey. Vitek, fantastic third period. He made some great saves through the first and second, but I think for the most part we kept those to low to medium danger. There was some big ones there in the third period that he held on tight, kept it the 1 goal lead, then the 2 goal lead, and then really once it got to 3 goals, it was our game, and we really hatching down. I don't think that's the right word, and kept that big lead. So that was a good win. Feels good. Big contest against the Rangers. It's really going to be health-wise on both sides. I don't think Fox is ready to come back. I think Shesterkin is. We'll see about Jack. We'll see about Timo, who apparently might miss a few days, and hopefully an update on Nico as well. But last I heard, Nico might still be another couple weeks, although he has been skating. So we'll see exactly where that's at. Anything else I want to touch on in this one? Top to bottom, it was a great effort by the boys. Colin Miller, did not touch on him yet. Gotta do that. Fantastic game by Colin Miller. God, it feels good. I've been talking about him almost every episode. I don't know if Smith's going to come out. Honestly, Ball got the least amount of minutes in this one, so he might get a bird's eye view for a couple games and let Miller in. I would bump Smith up probably with, I don't know exactly how they want to work it out. Maybe Marino, let Miller play with Luke, because I think that's what you got to do. I would, I don't know. It's going to be interesting how they want to balance those lines. Maybe, I don't know. I actually don't have a guess on this, so I'll have to crunch into the numbers a bit of last night, see exactly how they all play together. But Miller was fantastic. Luke had a great game, 2-point night for him, point night from Bratt, who is only a few points back now of the league lead. Vancouver guys are just stacking it up against really bad Western teams, even though they did lose last night as well. They are bound to regress at some point. Same for us, but them down and us up. So anyone else to touch on? Miller was great. Bratt showed up, which was fantastic. Foley, McLeod had a great game, but again, I want to touch on this. He had a couple chances that he could have buried a couple goals, and I've said he has the skill set, the speed, the tenacity to play the energy engine game with guys like Bratt, but he does not have the scoring touch. You put Jack or Nico in there, we probably have another couple goals earlier on in that game. So I'm very excited for this lineup to be fully healthy and everyone to be slotted appropriately, because I think we could be a real deadly team, as we have been talking about all preseason and early season. It's just getting healthy and letting that come to fruition. I'm going to leave it at that. Nosek didn't get much ice. Nate didn't get much ice, but Nate had a pretty good game in this one. You like to see it. Hopefully that's a confidence builder for him when everyone's healthy. Hopefully that will energize the fourth line that has really struggled most of the season. So going to go ahead and call it here. It was a good game, guys. Good. Enjoy the win. Enjoy today. Don't stress too much about the Ranger game tomorrow. If Jack is back, he obviously usually has slow starts returning from injury, but I know he's chomping at the bit to get back, and we know how he does against the Rangers. So enjoy the win, guys. I'm feeling good. You should feel good. We are points percentage, third in the Metro over Carolina. We are in a playoff spot once again. Let's get into the weekend, win another one, and really start feeling better about the direction we're heading in. So I'll see you guys tomorrow morning to preview the Rangers game. As I always do. And my love for you guys goes out. And of course, always and forever, let's go Devils.